So I just watched the new black comedy drama Eddington, written and directed by Ari Aster. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I have not been a fan of Ari Aster's previous works. Like, they're technically good, don't get me wrong. I can acknowledge that they're all well acted, well shot, and that everything looks good on a technical level. They're just not for me. They're just not my kind of movies. I have to be honest on that matter. But I heard that this new movie was kind of like a black comedy satire on COVID and all of that. So I thought, okay, what the heck, I'll give this a shot. So I checked it out. And so after watching the movie, I saw an IMDb review that described this movie as ambitious and totally bonkers. I think that about sums it up. So let me get into it. Actually, talk about what I liked and didn't like. The performances are good overall. Everyone does a good job, and Joaquin Phoenix definitely serves as the standout. He does a really good job here. He is really good. Cinematography and the direction are both good, and they lead to some very creative and enjoyable sequences. The story is engaging overall, I would say. It's a bit slow at points, and I was kind of wishing that it would go past some of these points a bit faster, but the story still kept me guessing and wondering what would happen in the end, which I definitely couldn't predict where this would end up. There were a few humorous moments, not as many as I thought there would be, but I would say overall the humorous moments worked. I did laugh when I was supposed to laugh. And I like that the movie doesn't really take a side politically. Like, it's more about showing the bad parts of both sides of the political spectrum, especially during 2020. And honestly, it feels really refreshing when I look at most of the political movies we have nowadays that are like Black Christmas or My Son Hunter. Like, this one just is more about showing people and their flaws. And it just so happens to do that through a political lens, which I do like. I think it's good that this is sort of something that could maybe bring both sides together in a way. In terms of any criticisms I would have, there is a subplot with Emma Stone and Austin Butler that kind of goes nowhere. Like, they bring up something with Emma Stone's character at one point that if they explored a bit more could have maybe like had a point, but as is, it feels like they just threw it in there and then never followed up on it. That was kind of weird. And okay, so this is gonna, I don't know if it's just a me thing. I thought Emma Stone was Joaquin Phoenix's daughter when I was first watching the movie, but no, it's his wife. And her mother is like the same age as him, it seems like to me. So that was kind of weird and jarring. I was absolutely confused by the ending, which, again, pretty common for Ari Aster's films as far as I'm concerned. Like, I literally had to look up the Wikipedia page after watching this to understand certain parts, which I was kind of confused on. At certain moments in the film, it was kind of hard for me to understand what certain characters were saying. Again, I don't know if this was just my theater or if everybody's kind of having this issue, but like the characters were clearly saying things, but either they were speaking so quietly I couldn't understand them, or the music was like so loud that I couldn't hear them over it. And I might have missed some details in the plot, which is why I was confused. I don't know. Again, maybe that was just me, I'm not sure. And so, yeah, overall, I don't have a ton to say. Like, this is another Ari Aster film, and I'm sure his fans will love it because this is technically a good movie. I can acknowledge that. But, yeah, like his other films, this just isn't my kind of thing. There are some art house films that I like, but I don't know, stuff like this that's more just kind of at the end of the day, kind of confusing you what's actually going on. Just not my thing. I'm sorry. Now I'm gonna give Eddington a C. And one last thing I'll say: there is a company in this film that is called Solid Gold Magikarp. That cannot be a coincidence. They never bring up Pokemon in this movie, but there's no way that's a coincidence. I'm not believing that. So those are my thoughts on Eddington. Be sure to let me know what you thought about the film down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to see more reviews like this in the future. And on that note, I will see you next time. Have a great day.